Chinese farm. Israel assaults, Egypt defends. Israeli General Ariel Sharon's 143rd Armored Division attack had opened a corridor in the rear of the Egyptian army across the Suez Canal, but the supply routes to the 143rd Armored Division were interdicted by several Egyptian brigades. The Israeli 460th Armored Brigade was tasked to clear the roads in the area, and at Chinese farm, at the Chinese, actually Japanese farming station, units of the Egyptian 16th Infantry and the 21st Armored Division had dug in. So tanks, well, Armored Brigade versus Infantry and Armored Divisions. Great visibility, 14 turns. Lots of tanks. APCs. Macaques. Oh fuck, we have paratroopers. 6 out-of-map artillery sections. Paratroopers are from the anus. It's because you don't get to actually drop them anywhere. They don't have the same quality of equipment as regular army troops. They just don't. I wish I could see what they actually do have. Yeah, they're much smaller squads. They have a range 12 light machine gun, but they don't have the assault rifle. Right. They're more or less very effective at up to ranges of 4. Then their effectiveness will basically plummet. And if someone shoots at them, they'll drop below the 50% line very easily. A 6-man squad. Usually you get closer to 10 or even more. But yeah, that's pretty bad. So infantry. I mean, no infantry. APCs and tanks for the most part. What exactly is a shot? It's a Centurion with some vision. Rangefinder. What is the we have M48 too, but the Bagach M48's right. Yeah, these buildings are going to be filled with infantry. Some hills, so probably tanks, infantry in positions on the hills. Then a road here, which is highly suspicious. Not sure if there's any infantry in these buildings. Could be, but there might not be any real defenders here anymore. I think we're in the era of missiles, which means smoke might be the best thing to do instead of just firing blindly. We could try to blast smoke, because the missile systems are not effective close range. You literally cannot shoot at a missile too close. That's a safety distance before it won't arm itself. Okay, I'm not sure we should do this first. That's great. Just yeah, I was sort of afraid of this. Single shot will suppress them enough that they can't fire anymore. But we might want to dump infantry out, but we can't. We literally cannot do that because we won't have the turns to finish this at that point. Shit. Aggressive fire. Oh shit. Yeah, this is pretty bad. We're much better off losing APCs. Do we have any? We have very few. We have a mech squad. Couple of scouts, but these have a huge amount of weaponry. I don't want to waste them. At the same time, I do need infantry too. I don't see us having a good option here. We basically just have to shoot, hope for the best. Suppress them enough that they can basically fire that one shot. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be pretty rough. But again, I don't see an alternative to this. I just don't. I don't think we can really move on the first turn. We have to suppress these pretty thoroughly. At the same time, we need to close the distance. We can't stay here at optimal firing ranges. Thanks. If there are any others that will fire on us, I'd like the APCs to shoot. The thing about the APCs though is that I do actually need the infantry to go into these type of places to spot things. They're much better at spotting in that situation than a tank is. Okay, HQ unit is probably pretty safe to fire at this point. Rotate, ready. If we get a kill, it's probably out of the fight. Retreating, yes. And we do need to make moves. Oh shit, don't die, don't die. Ugh. Didn't die, but we're retreating and we lost all the guns, so it's pretty badly damaged now. Right. I took a calculated risk with that, but that did not work out. I'm not even sure where the missile came from. Ah, we have 4 more of these. Surely you can see it. Has to be this one. I'd rather try to kill as many of these teams as possible rather than try to force our way forward at this point. Because they're so goddamn accurate. At the same time, so they have tanks positioned there too. Tanks are the least among problems though. Probably. I suppose we could just push forward. Might be a worthwhile idea to leave someone behind to react to things. The thing is, I don't think retreating status is good enough for us. They'll basically have a decent chance of rallying, and each shot has a respectable chance of screwing me over with that entire tank. So yeah, I think I'm much better off firing as much as possible, even if the chance of getting something done is low. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I need to just get rid of these teams. No wounded enemies retreating and possibly getting their shit back together. We seem to have a T-55 tank. It's relevant because it's a piece of shit. It means that the infantry anti-tank teams are my biggest threat, not the tanks themselves. At least if they're T-55s. Something to consider at least. Also, we do want to... The long distance fight does not favor us against we need some distance, sure, but not this much. The missile teams will benefit from this more than I will. We do have a couple of scouts. I just want to get as close as possible, as quickly as possible. Without a doubt, they're gonna have more missile teams waiting for us. I don't know what you... I actually want to dump this infantry as quickly as possible. Yeah, this is the only larger squad I have. They have good firing, the range of 10. I just think there's a reasonable chance that the half tracks and the like are going to be destroyed. So I don't want the infantry to be in the same unit. We could keep a tank or two in reserve, but it's not a bad idea. But more importantly, what exactly are we gonna do with the artillery? We're so close. This is not gonna arrive on the next turn. It's gonna arrive on the turn after this, and there's a good chance they have infantry squads here that do have anti-tank weaponry. So we don't want to get too close. So do I want to just bombard the shit out of these things, or do we want to do something else? We have to do something, no matter what we choose to do. Like that I can't see it there. I'm gonna go with smokeless options this time. Incoming missiles. How many? We've taken out half a dozen squads already. So that's around 2 platoons of anti-tank missile teams. They probably have about a similar amount more. At the least. Well, it depends on how many tanks they have. Right. We don't particularly want to lose the infantry though. But we also have 14 turns to time to do things. I'm surprised I'm not seeing any more reaction fire. So there has to be more. This tank, for example, is not going to be here on its own. I just don't see the friends he has. The question is, how many of these APCs do we want to waste here? I'm gonna try to drop out the infantry squads then and there, here and there, just to see if we spot something. We can easily pick them up on the next turn and move on. But what I don't want to see is us getting into some kind of situation where we're surrounded by enemies on all sides. I don't want this crew to remain here either. It's harmless to me, but if it runs all over the place, it is a spotter, and if it runs all over the place, it could cause trouble for me later. Possibly, not necessarily. We have better targets, I'll shoot at them. I think I'm gonna take it slow for a couple of turns. These guys especially see a lot of areas here, and it's gonna be a miracle if there's not a tank or two that they can spot already. I'd like them to stay in a position where they're ready to shoot immediately. At the same time, we can't exactly delay and delay and delay. I need more tanks here. There's a decent amount of tanks going on the right side already. Except we lost some of them. Right. Still, there's many more tanks here than there on the other side. You cannot move. I don't want to risk losing it. Do I want to rush in the half track? I don't think so, not now at least. Let the artillery fall. Might not be in our favor exactly. It'll create some smoke at the very least. I think I'm holding positions with these. Right. Different infantry. They'll slaughter too. Tank on tank action, but it's basically over. If we lost a tank, it's unable to fire anymore. So this is more or less what we can expect. The Sager team will never fire again, the T-55A will never fire again. Okay, who the hell sees the Sagar team? You. Someone else? Don't think so. Not sure if I can fire this close. One, two, three. Yeah, it's a little bit outside our preferred range. We'll fire if we have to, but there's a good chance there's other type of infantry units in there. Which reminds me, where exactly is the artillery landing? Still more or less the same. Might not be a horrible idea to just let another fire. Ooh, maybe not there. Or there. That'll be fine. I'm somewhat tempted to fire smoke in here. I just don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Yeah, it'll protect us from the missile fire, but I don't actually know where how much smoke do I need to spread around before it'll make a difference. Am I shooting it in the correct locations? No idea. Okay, someone's going to have to go in there and take a little closer look. We're seeing something. I'm guessing pretty much every flag will have a fender of some sort. As in a tank type of defender. Ah, god damn it. I need someone to fire there, please. Well, it's unlikely to be able to function properly because of the fire. But I'd really like a casualty team. Rotate. Gotta take it. We need to move in APCs. At the same time, I don't want to hit any major trouble with the APCs. I do need infantry. Always something we need to keep in mind. If I don't have infantry, I'm basically going to have to sacrifice a lot more tanks to get even simple things done. Might have to do it, but no point rushing into something like that. Right. Can't really see all that much. I'd like to see around these flags. And if I can't spot a threat there now, it's likely there's going to be a threat there later. Also the scouts. These are great infantry killers because of the huge amount of machine guns they have. I suppose I should go harass that. Although there's enough troops here and vehicles to be able to handle that. At the same time, I'm within range. of curiosity, what exactly do these guys have? Yeah, they have RPG-7s. So their effective range against infantry is around 10 hexes. Their effective range against vehicles is around half a dozen hexes. And I would say effective range is probably closer to point blank. But an RPG-7 warhead will go through the tank holes we have, so we don't want to drive into Egyptian infantry. We won't survive the experience. There's likely more here, but I want to try to get these out of the fight permanently. Okay, they're both routed, but that's not good enough. That'll just mean that they're out of the fight for a couple turns. Doesn't actually mean that they're gonna stay out of that fight. Okay, and I'm like 100% sure there are massive amounts of the defenses here on these near these flags, so I don't want to drive anywhere close to them. Want the infantry out. Also go to different hexes so they just can't fire on a single target. Still, we do have we are on a timer, so I'm gonna leave a couple of tanks on the move. Yeah, maybe the F group. Because we're definitely predicting some kind of reaction from something. There's no getting around that. So someone has to be in a position to actually react to things. Recoilless. And they're using it to fire infantry. Probably one of their few anti-tank weapons that they have. Yeah, thanks for no one giving fire support, by the way. Intentionally didn't move the tanks because I was hoping that they might react to things. They did not react to shit. Although this isn't a very nice spot. Very hard to see how it would anyone could really react to that. Still, I was hoping some kind of miracle happens. No such luck. Still, we're losing like a tank on almost every goddamn infantry squad that we come across. I don't think we can sustain these type of losses. Even if we would win somehow, it would be catastrophic. They could not re-win us the mission by any means. Surely there's another scout nearby. Right. Yeah, so I suspected that. Still went in though. Best thing about it is that because I don't have infantry here, I can't see shit. You're dead. Not quite, but not far off. There we are, right. That's a lucky thing for us. It revealed itself, didn't even destroy the half-track. Now, two of you losers can actually shoot at it. Probably a tank here. Not much luck. The chance to hit is reasonable at least, so we should be able to take it down. Terrible luck for some reason. We move this, yeah, chance to hit is pretty much nothing. It's not a good idea to even fire. The problem is I'm wasting the good ammunition by doing this. Just cannot see it. Perfect. Yeah, this is more like it. Not exactly getting great things done, but there are no survivors, and we have the ability to mop up fairly quickly. We also know that there's at least a missile group here retreating somewhere. I can see something. Cool. Problem with the missile group is that if I don't locate it pretty much now, it's gonna be able to fire again. I suppose technically it could be in the smoke, but I sort of feel like I would have spotted it if that was the case. Yeah, firing on the crew probably is pretty much waste, but it's not a total waste even if we don't get kills, because if we manage to, the further we suppress it, the less it can spot. So it won't be able to act as a worthwhile scout, at least. Just drive in. Hopefully you can reveal something. Nothing. I'm going to try to challenge the flags as early as possible. Hope to flush out the new targets first. Fuck. Hello, recoilless squad. Nice meeting you. They are very, very well dug in and disciplined. Right. The recoilless squad has to be taken down. Survivors disperse. I have to go in there even though I might end up losing the tank because of it. Nope. Well, at least it's sporadic, but we still have an anti-tank missile team somewhere here. Not exactly happy about that. We know that there's an infantry squad in that hex too. That's actually the biggest problem probably at this point. I very well know where it is. I should be even able to see it. So a tank basically has to go in there and do indirect fire. Right. No animation for it, but we are certainly firing on it. We have troops here to react. Although I have had terrible luck with that sort of thing, so I'll suppress a little bit more. Hopefully they'll pick up. Can't stay here. We'll try firing blind artillery there. Will be incredibly ineffectual, but we could try. I dumped the troops. I sort of want to. Just what exactly do you see? They either will stay and fight in this building, or they'll try to retreat. Either way, I want to be able to take them down very quickly. Right. We'll want to push. We'll want to push through these flags here with the group we have on the western side, or do I want to maybe push through here and go over there at the north? Or yeah, I'm not sure the road is a good choice to pick. Mainly because it probably has the heaviest defenses. That's where I would put my heaviest defenses. I didn't see anything new. But I think that's a reasonable thing. Sort of try to go around things at least a little bit. Same here, this is probably very well defended. So attack from the rear would be much more likely to get good results. Or at least any kind of a flanking maneuver. Staying here and providing fire support was proven to be ineffectual. They don't shoot shit, so it makes no sense. This will make some moves. Still think we probably should fire at something. I'm inclining to fire smoke at these flags. Probably won't amount to much. The thing is that if they do have within reason, uh, they would provide cover against missile fire. That would be probably the most useful thing they can do. Since I don't have a spotter here, it wouldn't be all that effective to fire direct fire on those hexes. It wouldn't do any damage even if it would hit in the same hex that enemy infantry is in. Right. So routed infantry is pretty much the only thing we see. Crew, machine gun, still can't see the... Ooh, that's a lot of retreating infantry. Still can't see the missile guy. That's a big problem. I don't recall killing it. Retreating infantry, excellent. Ooh, there's a recoilless team. That's no good. Fibers disperse. Well, I can be fairly certain that there aren't those random infantry squads here anymore. It's gotta be worth something. Wait. Don't need to do anything, just need to be able to spot. The problem is I have zero confidence in my army's ability to spot shit. So that's a big problem. Oh shit. Okay, no reaction. Bit skeptical on that, but okay. I don't really want to move tanks first. I mean, I've encountered what, 3 tanks? I sort of think if they have T-55s, they have more than Realistically speaking, they probably should have more tanks than I do. Maybe not in this case, but still. Many more than those 4 or 3, whatever. It's already infantry squad. He has an anti-tank missile. Shit. I don't recall what range it has. But that'll probably do it. Hmm. Right, we should be able to wrap up some of the survivors now. But what should we really do? More infantry. Each infantry squad has the ability to destroy any of my units. That's something to keep in mind. Always that. It's that time in the history of things. Well, maybe I shouldn't go quite that far, but infantry weaponry is not something we can protect ourselves from anymore. Okay. This tank is in a great place. It's probably far enough from these that unless they have some kind of missile systems or recoilless rifles, they don't have their anti-tank weapons can't reach here, but we can easily reach any target here. So it'll be good for support when we head in there and try to clear it enough so that we can make some progress, take the flags. Don't go there. I feel like I'm asking for trouble if I go just follow the road. I don't see how that could possibly work in my favor. At the same time, high might make it a mandatory thing. As long as it isn't, I'm not gonna go there. We do have to reach the areas behind it anyway, so we do have to bypass it. So why not bypass it first, then sort of head back there. If the enemy seems to be, I'm not sure what's the correct word for it. Not exactly passive, but it's basically waiting for me to right on top of them before they really react. The missile teams were an exception. But after that, I think they will not really react aggressively if I just bypass them. I might be able to get what I need with a lot fewer casualties. If we're lucky, we might be able to get them to react, meaning basically, well, force them to leave their current location. Doing a hex at a time because I'm still looking for the missile squad I might have missed. Maybe I killed it, I don't know. Wasn't paying that much attention to it. I was certainly trying to kill all of them quickly. Not sure how successful. Ooh. Yeah, if there are mortar here, so I'm guessing that's a pretty safe place for our units to be. Do I really want to fire the smoke then? It's gonna land now. The problem is I'm basically blocking my own firing lines if I do it. Shit, maybe not. I feel like it might end up biting me in the ass more than anything. I think I want to get a line of fire on the mortars maybe and finish them off. Yeah, now we've seen it. Yeah, they're defending the road, so that's more or less it. Might as well drop artillery here too. There's no harm in it. Right. More importantly, tanks. Sure what would be the best unit to use to kill them though. Can't see shit. So it has to be the tanks here. Ah, fair enough. D2. Yeah, this works fairly well for us. I'll leave troops to defend these. I haven't really gotten the impression that he's in all that hurry to try to retake anything. I think I'll leave these couple of units here. They can easily cross the river if necessary, and they can provide fire support if something pops up there. A scout. There could be more tanks. Might be worthwhile to leave a unit here to basically flank any type of unit that pops up there. Most should still move on. No, I'm not leaving anything here. It might work, but at the same time there might not be any significant forces there, and we have quite a few amount of troops coming there anyway. So let's trust our own forces. Yeah, I still don't want to get close to the room. Yeah, we definitely want an infantry squad here, right? Recoilless. You son of a bitch. There's no telling how many of these type of troop squads there are. More importantly, it seems to be like it's anticipating attack from this direction. So the road and this could be very, very well defended. Shit. Best drop some. The units out. What exactly are we seeing here? We are seeing tanks rushing. What exactly are we seeing? Yeah, we are not seeing all that much. So, and I doubt they had two tanks here waiting. This could be bad. They could have a counter-offensive force here. Right, this can be incredibly bad for us. We are better at long distance fighting though, much better, because our weaponry will penetrate better. Oh shit, someone's gonna have to shoot at that thing. Someone who hasn't moved. Ah shit. Yep, good results really. Ah, that could have been much, much worse. Right. Still can be. I need to know how many. Okay, they have infantry squads there. I need to know the extent of the force that's coming from the northwest. I'm hesitant to do anything before I know that. Also, if they have this, yeah, they have a infantry squad spread quite wide around this location, so probably infantry here on any of all of the rough spots really. God, but I need to know. Problem is the APC is gonna die if I move my any. How in the hell does this block me from seeing? I should be at a greater height. And it slopes a little bit, then it yeah, now I'm seeing it. Oh, right. So there's probably a platoon or two of tanks rushing at us. I need to. I'm not sure what I need to do. Might be worthwhile to just try to use the rough spot as blocking. I basically try to sneak these flags after the tanks with some units while fighting the tanks with others. These could be defended by other units though. Yeah, no matter how I think about this, this is risky. And they could drive here, which means me losing my command unit. Yeah, this could be very, very, very bad for us. Still, like I have a huge amount of options here. I do not want to rush there now, because if I start losing vehicles against infantry and then the tanks roll in, uh, I just don't see how I could possibly make through that. It'll probably take another turn before they could even potentially get to a position where firing can connect, so I think we're more or less safe to just rush in on this turn. Next might be asking for trouble. What do we see? With fire support this and this. That's about it. I think we're gonna stick mostly with the original plan. If we're lucky, we might be able to get to the rear of the enemy tank group. That's a pretty big if though, but even then we can probably flank them with a handful of tanks. That alone is a big advantage. The less suppression we have, the better spotters we are. These guys will die the second infantry squad fires at us. survivors dispersed. That's good. With any luck, that's the closest unit they have, which means they don't really have good spotters here anymore. It's a big if, but it's not too unlikely. I'm gonna try to get the ooh, fuck. More tanks. Of course. Hopefully he hasn't spotted me. So there's a dozen tanks at least coming my way. More or less what we suspected though, so no surprises there. You have to make a move forward sooner or later. This will decide quite a bit. Yeah. And you blocked my airline fire. Paratroop squad cannot survive this. Another recoilless. Yep. This is pretty bad. And now the tanks on top of that. It's a problem because I need to get rid of the infantry. I need to get rid of them. If I don't, I'm just as boned. On the positive side, it looks like we are dumping some quality artillery fire now. Right on top of the tanks too. Okay. We'll need more spotters. Hopefully we'll get lucky with some of our shots. If we can get enough to suppress the recoilless, that's basically enough. Also, we need to be somewhat careful with what we shoot. The goal is to more or less destroy all of the tanks, so we'll have to start at the rear. Otherwise the smoke will spot our blind side. It's a bit risky because that's where we have the least chance of actually hitting something. But gotta do what we gotta do. Also, please shoot at a closer target. That's uncomfortably close. We probably should just take any shots we can take. Okay, something has to die. Yep, they're bottomed now. Okay, that single kill helped quite a bit. It's risky to go closer not because of these, but there's gonna be infantry squads. As long as we're far away like this, the infantry is not really a problem. After a couple of turns, we'll have to chance it no matter what because time is running out, but now's not the time. They'll probably abandon that tank no matter what. At the same time, no reason to give them a chance to do it. There are gonna be more tanks coming our way, so I don't want to waste too many shots now. Now the recoilless has to be taken down. There aren't any real good units that could possibly take it down. Right, are we gonna stand here and offer fire support, or are we gonna push toward our own targets? I think we should push toward our own targets, at least with some of these guys. What exactly do you see? Not much. I don't think this is necessarily a bad place to be, because we can't see here, we also can't see what's coming our way. Shit. That's the spirit. Chances of hitting aren't exactly great, but we might still get a lucky shot. We don't really have other things to do anyway. Might as well test our luck. Right, and each casualty will go a long way in getting our army-wide route going. It'll all help. I think we might move the route. I'll hold off the APCs for one extra turn, then we'll have to rush in. I'm seeing more stuff. I'm just dumping the infantry just in case. We might get a surprise with additional tanks coming our way or something. But it certainly looks like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, there's probably like a half a dozen tanks still that I can't see. This is bad. I'm not moving anywhere with this guy. I need more actual tanks to get into position. I think we should try to rush here rather than... fuck it. Don't do anything. Yeah, this is gonna get worse. There are way too many tanks still missing that we know had to be there. Yep, and these aren't the ones that were moving. These were the ones that have been sitting there from the start. There we go. They did poorly on this one. Okay, this turn will decide basically this whole thing. Yeah, 4 or 5 tanks extra that we can see, even if they have others after that, which is totally possible. Losing so many tanks would cause the remaining ones to rout anyway, so it doesn't matter in that sense. I have to make a push for the flags soon, very soon. Still hoping that we might be able to get a little bit of a moral boost by capping a couple of tanks. I don't want to get closer with these. The scouts are pretty much our best anti-infantry squads. Any kind of an APC would be a better, preferable choice. There's probably a couple of different squads on the tanks because they don't seem to be... Yeah, so they're sharing the same suppression values. One seems to be totally independent from the other. Right, we're more or less just quickly going through these. This should be enough. Five turns left. Right, I'm not sure what do we have time for anymore. But someone has to go for the flats. Maybe I should not be moving the tanks first. Still not seeing any good targets. That's a very good thing. No one's spotting in it, so I think we're fairly safe to go take these flags and push as quickly as possible there. Probably. It's really hard to say. I'm paranoid about traps. Oh shit, there's a platoon of tanks still moving. Yeah, you wouldn't happen to have any smoke on you, would you? Just an idea out there. Okay, this might be a bit problematic. You wouldn't happen to see any of those tanks? No. Right. So no hurry in trying to reach areas here. Just go behind the smoke. Ah, Christ. Okay, this is pretty bad. Artillery is more or less landing where I want it to land. I think we should definitely start moving tanks forward, especially. Even if we don't go against other tanks, we would still want to move closer to flags. Yeah, staying here is not gonna achieve all that much. And you. I need to get in the position where I can start firing on the remaining tanks. Might not be able to do it on the next turn, but in the next couple of turns at the latest. Right. More infantry. Good turn for us. Nothing happened. Yeah, this guy's buttoned and I don't think it ever engaged an enemy. I don't really see a reason why we shouldn't keep firing on the locations we have been firing on. Our units can't reach it on this turn. Okay. I need to start moving the APCs across the river. We're going to put them in harm's way, but time is running out. Yeah, this is bad, but time is running out. We don't have all too many shots because we're constantly moving, so that might be a good idea to hold still with some of our units. Just so we have units that are actually capable of supporting our advancement. Right, we need to get a line of fire on those tanks. And we're not getting it. I really don't have time to wait anymore. I just need to push until we until we get it. Not with this one though. Command tank. And we're very close to them. Very, very close. 4 turns left. Gives me a little bit of time to try something. Not much. We have to make moves very quickly. Yeah, at least we have a target to shoot at. I think we can get casualties on this group, but we don't have to kill all of them. We do have to make moves. Yikes. Ready, ready, retreating. That's a valuable kill. Extremely valuable kill. Now half of that's platoon is gone already. You are a spotter. The tanks are more or less static at this point. Very close to getting the flags, but I don't dare to rush it. It would do more harm than good. We don't have the luxury of waiting too long though. Gonna make some moves. Yeah, going over this hill though, that's gonna be trouble. Right, I think the best thing we can do now is to fire on this section, because it's likely to be the last section where our troops can go to. So the artillery bombardment might not make that big of a difference there, but I don't see it making any kind of difference anywhere else. So we'll fully commit to that. Not much happening. They are still pushing forward with the tanks. Abandoned tank. Ready tank. Probably another ready tank. Earthen bunker. We got the game. Did not expect bunkers. Please don't fucking shoot at the bunker. Wasting my tanks. That was sort of easier than I thought it would be. I guess we did a good job at getting rid of most of the defenses. Still, 3 turns left. Didn't exactly give us too much time to do stuff. I'm gonna get into position to pop over this line of destroyed tanks. Oh, that'll be enough. We need to do something about those. Just rot it. Okay. Now the more important stuff. Not sure if these guys should move. They're in a perfect position to provide fire support there and maybe even attack tanks. Group D. Should be seeing new tanks. One button tank seems to be more or less it. I think I'm gonna give it a chance to retreat. I can't see anything else. Looking good. We need to kill the ready crew, otherwise they'll go back in the tank. I want to move the APCs first though. If there's some kind of hidden units, the tanks are in a fairly good position to react. APCs just don't have the range for it. Still, not really spotting anything. And if the infantry doesn't spot it, it's probably not there. Still, don't really see what I would lose by taking it cautiously. Well, relatively cautiously. Well, they're not gonna go back into the tank, that's for certain. Right, everything's looking fairly good. Hmm. No hostile spotted. Don't know why I would save shots at this point though. I could rush the tank, but I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, I would need to have the actual tanks to be able to support me, then that might make sense. They'll kill my infantry. The thing is, that's not good enough anymore. Because I can still take the flags and then I can just hold them with the vehicles and wait. Okay, there's at least a couple of infantry squads here. 3 maybe. Right, they're definitely in full retreat. There's the infantry squad. Where's their HQ unit? Generally haven't seen it. It could be there, I suppose. Or in one of these buildings. Right. 2 turns left, so now's the time to make a rush for it. More or less hoping that there's no major defenses anymore they can throw our way. You cannot be the one that fires first. Okay, this guy will never move again. Might as well fire as much as I can. Right, no time to hold back anymore. And you. I think I should go for the flags. In fact, there are not enough tank targets for us to go after. But we'll see. don't think so. We basically should shoot whatever we can. We have enough tanks that can take down that, so I'm not worried about it. I'm much more worried about can we take the flags. We can shoot at all important targets here. We still need something to actually make the assault. I don't really see a point in holding anything back at this point. Survivors disperse. Yeah, they might have something in their back pocket, but I can't see what that something could be. That would it be significant enough to really make a dent? A handful of targets, nothing important. Still, if they have something here, I might as well move more units there. Right. I don't see what in the hells could they possibly have. Game over for them. It's a minor question mark, can we get to the center flags? Oh shit. This guy will die. Still not seeing the HQ squad anywhere. I'm pretty sure I haven't killed it already. That's usually where their core defense is, though. I'm just surprised that I haven't seen it. Right. No reason to hold back at this point. Nothing good will come of it. Best thing we can do is cause as many casualties as possible, while at the same time pushing toward the flags. This is definitely probably I'm gonna cancel the artillery. Might do some good, but it also screw up things, so better just let it go. They can't have that many units on those group of flags. I mean, a handful, sure. I don't see why they wouldn't, but not enough to stop the wave of units coming their way. There we go, earthen bunker. Not really expect an earthen bunker at this point, but headquarters! It'll kill enough suppression fire so it won't be able to use its most dangerous weapon, and they're dead. Okay, so the HQ and the bunker was here, that's pretty much it. I was expecting a lot worse. Fire at anything you can. Right. That's pretty much game over, I guess. We can make the numbers a little bit more favorable to our side, but I don't think it'll make any kind of a drastic difference to the end result. That it. We're gonna have enough APCs so we can take the last remaining flag. That should put an end to this mission. I actually like this, unlike quite a few of these similar types I've played. Mainly because they had the extra group of tanks. Granted, the enemy didn't exactly got a good use out of it, but I feel this is a defense mission that's definitely winnable for the defending side. You have a good healer here that could allow you to force the engagement to happen at ranges where your tanks are just as good as I feel the technologically more superior Israeli tanks. So there wouldn't be much of an advantage there. Whoever hits gets the kill. That's a good situation. And the infantry and the missile groups and whatever, they provide enough of a delay that once the more serious tank battle happens, you might not have the time to fight it anymore. If you've basically played in the thinking that this is the end. Once you get these flags, the resistance is over. No, that's when the heavy fighting begins. Also, we could have gotten a lot more casualties at the start. What do we lost? Like 4 units maybe? Couple of tanks and APC. Not that bad in the end. And one of our main tanks was disabled. Still maneuver, but that's about all it could do. So a little bit of luck, a little bit of things happening differently, and our assault could have stalled easily, and then the tanks could have stopped it. Yeah, casualties. Point blank range with a recoilless pretty much. Yeah. So they got a little bit of a consolation kill. That's about it. 18 tanks destroyed. We lost half of that. and half of those were APC, so we definitely fared better. I'm more surprised that we only lost 53 men, but thinking about it, uh, paratrooper squads are a 6-man squad, so that's still quite a lot, quite a few infantry squads we lost. Some crew members on top of that. No, still a victory, still a victory. Not that amazing of a mission. But I feel like this is this type of mission done well. Smart use of your own forces can get you victory out of that one. I feel, well, I'm not sure what a defender playing could do. Trying to save the missile troops. They have a half a dozen shots. I think they got off maybe one. But we could have somehow misdirected or diverted the enemy fire initials or something else, or pulled back the missile squads. That could have complicated things further. I don't know. That would have been an interesting defense mission to play. What are you gonna do with the initial troops you have? The few handful of tanks that are in position and the missile squads. The missile squads will likely automatically fire before you get to do it your first turn, so you're gonna lose a couple. But you might be able to save a few more if you pull them out immediately. So who knows?